What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Fomo Factory. Happy Friday. Today I would like to take a look at the market to show you when I will probably step into crypto with the last cash that I have. And everybody always says people that are patient, people that were there in the last bear markets are the ones that made a lot of money in the bull runs that came after that. And it's definitely true, but it's more than just a matter of being there. You have to do the right thing, of course. What's exactly what you have to do? Well, let's take a look at that. First of all, welcome to the Fomo Factory. Of course, if you have subscribed to the channel, feel free to subscribe to the channel. The market today is looking kind of boring, to be honest. Bitcoin 16.5k, Ethereum 12k. BNB is doing pretty well. It's mainly because there's a new launch coming on the Binance Launchpad. You know, these returns are usually very, very good. So that would definitely cause BNB to go up. For the rest of the market is, it's trending kind of sideways. Like Litecoin halving is coming up, and you know, always a year give or take before the halving, it's getting quite interesting in price. We will notice the same for Bitcoin, in my opinion, coming April, give or take. So Litecoin is doing pretty good, but I will definitely not ape into it myself just yet. Solana is holding up, you know, around every time it falls back around $12, $11, it gets back up to 14. So far, these would have been great buys, but you know, is it still like, could it finally break that $12, $11 mark? Or will it stay here? Will this be the bottom for Solana? Well, that's not something I'm going to answer in this video, though. Let's take a look at the crypto market at the moment. Bitcoin is still going down. Great. Bitcoin is, like I said, sitting at $16,500. And one thing that I mentioned a couple of times on this channel, and this time turned out not to be any different, so I hope you really listened to that, is that if we take a look at the weekly stochastic RSI, every time it is this overbought, you see what happens, right? It's so overbought right here, and what happens, it comes down quite a lot, 50% right here. In April, it was that overbought again, as you can see right here, and it came down even more, I think. It came down from, you know, where it was oversold to where it was oversold, came down 63%. Now we were again pretty overbought in this area right here, and you could measure it from here, right, as this was the highest point, but this was also already the overbought territory. So it depends kind of from where we measure it. If we you know, it's lower than what it was back here, and slightly maybe the same as that, what, you know, it was kind of the same and was than what it was right here, right? But these were moves of, you know, on an average 55% down. What did we have so far? Well, so far we had a move down of 27%. Keep that in mind. If we have to measure it from the highest point, also where we were kind of overbought, not very overbought, but kind of overbought, then we are already 38% down. But it's not nearly some, you know, around that 55% on average that we had before, right? Where would it take us if we do get that? Well, best case scenario, we, you know, measure it from this point and we get around 55%, which is an average, right? An average. And that will take us around 11K. However, if we take it from this point where we were really overbought, then yeah, the target is getting a lot lower, of course. Then we will be sitting at around 9.5K, right? So keep that in mind. The average doesn't have to play out, of course, but it's an average, right? It's not an average for no reason. This happened before here, it happened before here. And I think that if I, you know, take one other example of where we were that overbought again, which was, well, this wasn't like this, well, this was in the middle of a bull run, so I don't know how comparable this is, but we were that overbought right here, and once we got to the oversold territory, we had a move down of 31%. So that's kind of where we're at right now, though. But keep in mind that was in the bull market, in the heart of the bull market basically, and now we are in the heart of the bear market. So you know, be a little cautious when you look at this. I think like it might be possible that the bottom is now in, but I think it's definitely possible that we will see another leg down. And if I look at the monthly chart though, I've showed you this before, then you can see the bigger levels way better, right? Then you'll see that this is a very big level because we had, well, here, we had a closure right here in 2017-18. We had a peak right here and we had some stuff going on right here, which is around 14K. And we have a lot of support right here at around 11.8K. So let's say 12K. So 12, 14K. These are my main targets for Bitcoin to go down to. Then again, it doesn't necessarily mean that we will get there, but I think that if we get another leg lower, then these are the levels to watch out for. And I think it is definitely possible because if we look at the DXY at the moment, this candle down is absolutely crazy. If we put it on a monthly, we had a monthly candle down on the DXY for 7%. That's a lot. That's a lot. If we look at the S&P, it had a monthly candle of 8% up, right? So you know how stocks respond to that. And crypto usually responds to that the same as well. Although this whole FTX thing didn't work in our benefit because instead of going up with 8%, we went down on the monthly with 27%. That's a lot. That's really, really, really a lot. All right, so I kind of am watching for the fact that if the DXY, you know, it's only understandable that the DXY at some point will go back up, you know, and it doesn't have to mean that it will make new highs, but, you know, at least like if we take a look at this trend line right here that it was following, you know, give or take this, then it would be doable that we go up, we test that trend line, and then we go down again. But what happens in the meantime when we go up and test that trend line? That means that stocks will go down again and Bitcoin goes down again. But Bitcoin is already so much down, right? So that could cause the final leg down for Bitcoin, in my opinion. That's definitely possible that we get another leg down of another 27%, which might take us to our final lows. I don't think we go beneath 10K, but, you know, I don't know. That's my expectation. I don't think we go lower than that. But that will definitely be a possibility. And that would be very bad for altcoins. And on the other hand, very good for altcoins as well, because that might provide us with a great buying opportunity, of course, right? If Bitcoin goes down 27%, you know what usually happens to altcoins. They go down a lot more, especially considering the fact that if we take a look at the Bitcoin dominance at the moment, Bitcoin dominance is approaching its lows again, right? So, you know, based on 1.5 last years, it will only be understandable that we bounce from here, go up, like maybe here, but maybe also all the way here. If this happens, altcoins will tank like we haven't seen before this year. Right, we haven't seen that. Yeah, we have seen that, by the way, from January up till June, basically. Then again, that was also a period where Bitcoin had some decent runs. But if we look from January till June, what happened to altcoins back then? Let me take a look. January. Yeah, this is the total tree. So this is the total tree. So this was January and this was June right here. Altcoins went down 60% on average. Yeah, when I look at the total, when I look at the Bitcoin dominance, it's definitely possible that a similar move could happen. 60% is a lot on altcoins, right? Now, I don't think it will be a full 60%. If we look at the total tree again, then what I did show you before is that, you know, what's the main level for altcoins to look out for? Well, if we put it on a monthly, you can see a bit better though. This is the first big level, right? This is also the close, and here we had resistance, right? So this would be a very important level. Like basically now we are sitting at no man's land right here. like we're getting back up to this level, but this is now more little resistance instead of support, right? So if we go to the first major support level, that's 27% down. If we go to this level right here, that's a move down of from where we are right now, 50%. So that kind of lines up with that 60% that I just showed you. So a lot of different charts show us that a 60% move to the downside is pretty likely to happen. Also, I want to show you this. This is the, let me take a look where I have the good chart, logarithmic regression band. So this is what I showed you before. This is Bitcoin. This is the logarithmic regression band, right? And you'll see that in every bear market, Bitcoin gets to these lower bands, these green lines, and in the bull market, it gets to these red lines, right? Now we're sitting at these green lines again. We are sitting even lower than that, right? But as far as I know, altcoins are more following Ethereum than Bitcoin. And if we take a look at Ethereum, this has a long way to go. Like, it's not even sitting at the upper band right now, right? It's only sitting at, like, if we zoom in, you see that it's not even touching the upper band right here, let alone the lower band, right? So it would make sense for Ethereum to also come down. And at what level might that be? Well, the mid level is around $700 and the lower level is around $500 for Ethereum, right? So, and if we now take a look at Ethereum, so $700 or $500, how much percent is that from where we are right now? Well, $700 is around 40% down. Right, and $500 is even 60% down. So average 50% again. So a lot of things do line up with the fact that things might come down a little bit. And I know how it now looks like. So please watch out a little bit, because now at the moment, you know, altcoins are going up a little bit, you know, a little bit. And I want to say that very cautiously. I don't know if I have a good example right here. Chainlink is basically doing everything every other altcoin does, right? So we went down quite a lot. Let me remove this, sorry. And now it is going up again. And this is where people feel like, oh, up 23%, bullish, let's buy. But, you know, that happens all the time before it goes down again. Like, we go up, but we go down again. We go up to 30%, but we go down again. We go up all this way, 60%, but we go down again. Like, it's definitely doable that we go down again. So please watch out with that. Now, with that being said, where would I buy? Well, another big thing to keep in mind is that, you know, I expect Bitcoin to go to these levels, right? But what on the chart will confirm that for me? Well, this is what I talked about a lot, and that's the weekly stochastic RSI. Like, again, we were oversold and now we are going to the overbought. We were overbought and now we're getting to the oversold territory again. You know, on the weekly, I wouldn't, like, this is a good time to buy, right? This is a good time to buy. This is a good time to buy. If I, you know, zoom out on the charts, where is that? Well, this is right here. You know, if you bought there, then you would have made 140% on Bitcoin. Even here, right? It's not maybe 140%, but still made a 45% on Bitcoin, right? If we bought it right here, still it is a 40% on Bitcoin, right? So it's very likely that if we finally get there and we stay there for a while, right, and we then also look at other things that might consider might show us that there is a local or macro, at least a local bottom, then you might want to buy it there, because then the chance that Bitcoin will put in a 40% gain or whatever is very likely. But you do not want to buy it in the middle of this downfall, basically, right? Because history just shows us that that's just not a good idea. If you would have bought it right here, yeah, then this is where we are right now. Then you, or maybe here, right? then you would have bought the right, you would have catch a falling knife. And here in this downfall, it's exactly the same. Here in this downfall, it's exactly the same. So please watch out for that. I would like to see the weekly stochastic RSI to reset. How long would that take? Well, from the moment it gets to the overbought to the oversold territory, or the other way around, here it's like 50 days, give or take, so 1.5 months. Here it was around 40, 50 days, depends on how you measure it exactly. When we were here, we're now sitting at 20 days. So you know, somewhere mid-December, maybe end of December, I would like to see this going flat and then look at maybe deploying some. For now, I think patience is just very important. And it's very, very tempting to see a 16.5K Bitcoin to not buy and to think like, yeah, I want to buy this, because if you compare it to where we came from, it's very low. But you must never compare it to where it came from. Of course, you have to compare it to where you think it's going, and then you can get the best price, of course, right? Otherwise, you could have also bought at 30K, because it's already half the way down from where we came. But still, if you bought there, you would lost half of your money by now. So please be a little cautious when it comes to that. When I look at altcoins, and I want to wrap it up positive, by the way, because there are a lot of positive things, of course, to say about this. But when I look at altcoins, I would like to take a look also at this same indicator, basically, because it's just really working. And the total 3, so again, only altcoins except Ethereum. Yeah, also not there yet. Also just not there yet. We came from this overbought territory, and since that we were there, we are already down 30%. But that might come down a lot more, right? Like as well here, that was this point up till, you know, the oversold territory, which was like the bottom was here, was 50%. You know, if we have to come down 50%, that's even bullish, because it will take us, will take us here, right? This first support level and not the second support level. So if this is the end station for altcoins, it won't be that bad. Won't be that bad. I mean, it's another leg down of 27%. So it will hurt, but it's not as bad as this level right here, which I seem to find a more big support level than this level right here. But also, and sorry guys, I'm still very sick. I wasn't here yesterday as well. We have some kind of a flu or salmonella. We have mice, and we're all puking. It's incredible. We're all fucked up. But I cannot. I want to be here every day. So sorry for skipping that. But always look at your individual altcoins as well, right? Don't look at just the total 3, because it's a good average and a good overall measurement. But you know, one altcoin will pop, the other altcoin will fall harder than the other. You don't know that. So look at your list and look like, okay, how is it looking? For example, I'm really looking to stack up on Falcon Forge. How is Falcon Forge looking? Because this is looking different maybe than any other chart, right? Falcon Forge is already quite near to the oversold territory, right? So that might come down less than the rest. Maybe not, but this looks different than, let me think, well, this, like Cetify is already quite there, right? And it doesn't mean like, okay, now you have to buy that, because it could definitely be that, just like here, look, we were down at this level. And this is a good example. We are now here. It doesn't mean you have to buy, because here we were also down here. If you would have bought back then, great, you would have bought at $8. But once we got out of it, we were sitting at 90 cents, right? 20 times as low. 10 times as low. So it could still be a big difference, right? Still be a big difference. So when to decide to buy this? Well, at least not when we are here. That's all that you have to know. And maybe this whole area is a good area to dollar cost. I mean, if you bought a little here, bought a little here, bought a little here, so you bought all these averages, right? And eventually, yeah, you will be still in a loss. But once we get a little back up, you will already be sitting at your average, right? Because timing the bottom is super hard, and you have to be just quite lucky, in my opinion. So that's definitely not something you want to do, because 9 times out of the 10 that just doesn't work. And just draw your lines as well. That's basically the best thing you can do, because if I look at Seedify right now, I feel like, yeah, it's at least getting to a point that I feel like, okay, it's make it or break it time. By maybe, well, maybe next week could still be boring, but it could break out to the up or the downside. If we break up to the upside, break out to the upside, I can definitely see Seedify go back to 150, for example. But if we go to the downside, we break this level right here, yeah, then I think we could go to 60, 70 cents, give or take. And this, it depends on the market. It depends on the market. So I'm not quite ready to deploy big yet. The only thing that I would buy, my strategy for now, is basically buying Bitcoin and dollar costing into Bitcoin when I think it's time to buy Bitcoin. Why is that? Well, a very good example is, for example, this. And this is something you, I think, should know. Sorry. Very nauseous. Cardano. If we look at Cardano, then you'll notice that where Cardano bottomed, and let me take a look where I can find the right chart for that. That was, yeah. So if we look at this bear market right here, Cardano had its bottom right here, right? In December 2018, and yeah, it made some kind of a double bottom right here as well. But if we look at the Bitcoin valuation, then you'll see that Bitcoin, the Bitcoin valuation, that was here, right? But here we went even lower, right? So what like, you could have bought Cardano dollar here and got the lowest dollar price. But if you bought Bitcoin right here and you bought Cardano with your Bitcoin right here, you would have got your Cardano even cheaper, if you know what I mean. So, and this goes for a lot of altcoins, right? Because the Bitcoin valuation usually dips and finds its bottom later on. So far, you are better off just buying Bitcoin, ride the wave up when it happens. And when the altcoins bottom out compared to Bitcoin, you just take your Bitcoin and buy these altcoins with your Bitcoin. Then you make double your gains. You first make your gains on your Bitcoin, and then you buy, you know, around the bottom, your altcoins. So that's basically the strategy that I'm trying to apply now. And yeah, I do have an altcoin back. I'm not going to sell right now because I feel like, yeah, look at where we are right now. We went this whole wave down, right? This total tree again. We went this whole wave down a lot on altcoins. Should I sell right now? Not stupid, right? But I will be very cautious with buying right now. So that's basically my strategy for now. That's why I want to wrap it up for today as well. I will be back this weekend, though. I will pre-record some interesting videos. So back tomorrow with a very cool video about the crypto portfolio challenge. And I think I'm going to review a project that is going to is going to get released by Seedify, which is a new metaverse crypto gaming project that I think is going to blow up because it's released by Seedify, and that's usually very good. Thanks for watching. I would appreciate it if you smack that like button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.